Good day, good day. Welcome to the Texas Real Estate Show. And here I am with my good friend, as always, the loan guy, the lone guy, the mortgage man.
Hey man,
I don't know what you
I'm
call
a man with the
yourself, how you
money.
market yourself. All I know is my great buddy James Lee, and here he is.
I'm here, man. I'm here. Good to be here on this beautiful Thursday. Let's just talk about
What's beautiful about it? I mean, we got no rain.
You're alive.
We've got no rain on our grass. Our
You're
grass
breathing.
looks like a desert.
You're standing. You can see. You can hear. Man, you gotta accentuate the positives. Come on now, Steve. Yeah. Somebody didn't wake up this morning, man, but you did.
I'm still living and breathing. I agree.
There we go.
Living and breathing. So let's talk about home prices. What's your feeling on new home prices? I've sort of brought some articles up. I've got one here. Historical US home prices, monthly median value from 1953 to 2022, shooting through the roof. And the median home price at the moment is about $380,000.
For our area? That's what you pulled up?
No, just US.
Oh, okay.
In the US. I think in our area, what would you say on median?
About 360.
Really?
Yeah,
You think it's that high in Texas?
Oh, well, for I'm talking about Houston. I just looked it up. That's the only reason I know about 360.
Oh, wow. Okay.
About 360.
You see, that's actually,
and that's
a lot higher.
That's single family, townhomes, and condominiums.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I've been looking for something, a little bit new as well, and I've been having some issues finding stuff out there. I have found that sellers are a little bit more negotiable with some of the things.
A little bit.
One of the commercial deals we did recently. I mean, they decided, because they was worried about the climate we was going into, that they was going to come down like $2 million, $3 million on a commercial listing, which was, I thought, I was blown away when I heard that.
The commercial's tough. It's tough enough right now for residential, but commercial's tougher.
Yeah, but ideally I'd like something with a little bit of acreage, and it's difficult to find, and I'm struggling.
Still trying to build that chicken ranch, huh? Told you that wasn't legal in Texas. You gotta do that some other place, man. It won't happen.
Yeah.
But the overall though, I think we're still going to see some appreciation.
I think we will
with these
I think
homes.
we will. I definitely think we'll see appreciation, even with interest rates going up. When you look at inflation and you look at the way inflation's built, and the appreciation, like at the moment, they reckon appreciation of a property is around 16% a year.
That's what it's been.
All right, and
That's what it's
I
been.
don't see it going down. We had a property recently that we marketed, and we had multiple offers. I think it was 21 offers. We had a property 8 months ago that had 124 offers.
That's crazy.
And this was in $1 million area where the homes were $1 million, and this particular home was listed at like 800,000, and needed an incredible amount of money in putting into it.
Right.
And so
it wasn't even in good
you
shape.
put the repairs, and by the time you put, the cost of the house, you are paying, I think, above what you would normally pay.
Yeah. But people are trying to.
So, what type of financing do you think that people are? Do you think people are sort of feel a bit more comfortable with FHA loans?
Oh yeah, I don't. Quite frankly, people don't pay attention more to the product. Honestly, you want my honest opinion. People just want a mortgage, Now you hear these myths that are thrown out there, like FHA is for bad credit or for first-time home buyers specifically, but it's not. There's the products that are available now are for anyone that wants to buy a home. No one says you have to be a first-time home buyer to use FHA. No one says you have to have bad credit for FHA. Sometimes FHA makes sense for some people. So sometimes the rates are better on FHA. The only drawback with FHA is if you're not putting down, 10% or more, you're stuck with that mortgage insurance for the life of the loan. But you could take it for a year or two, and then refinance it in the future.
Right.
And at least you're in your house.
To me, the hardest part is getting into the home.
Right.
And then when you get into the home, then you can always refinance and you can look at other options. How do you feel about the mortgage rate? It's interesting what you told me, what you thought the other day. You feel the mortgage rate may come down a little bit at the end of the year?
That's what we're being told. Everything's pointing toward that being the case, with inflation being high. Now, I don't know if you know or not, but the European Central Bank today increased their rate 50 basis points.
Right.
That's why we're seeing the positives in the mortgage bonds today. So with that being the case, I don't know why they waited so long. But this is like the first time that they've done it in like 11 years. But it's kind of one of those things where with the inflation, our feds have no choice but to continue to try to slow down the inflation, which, contrary to popular belief, is what truly drives interest rates. It's not the Fed rates, it's inflation. High inflation, high interest rates. That's just how it goes. So the Feds are increasing their rates to try to drive down inflation, which will in turn have a better or favorable move on interest rates. So that's kind of where we are with it, with that. So it's just kind of one of those things where we have to.
And just for everybody, we're not giving financial advice. We're just giving opinions. So as the loan guy, as the Houston loan guy,
right,
the loan guy that I've used for 15 years, 20 years, you feel that there's possibly the interest rates may come down at the end of the year.
I do feel that. I think Q4 we'll start to see some pullback. Now I'm not talking about
and there's
2 and 3%.
Okay, and there's a reason why I'm mentioning that. All right, I may be in the market for a home.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, my honest plan is to go out there if I can and buy a home now, when the interest rates are maybe a little bit higher initially.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason is for that is because then the competition, when I make an offer for a home,
it's not as great,
isn't as strong.
Yeah.
I'm not dealing with multiple offers.
Right.
The sellers are going to be more flexible because they may be more motivated to sell the house.
Mm-hmm.
And then what I will do later on, within the time of that loan, I know that the interest rates at some time are going to come back down.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And then I'm going to refinance again.
And the beauty in that is, see, you're working the game. You know how to work it, but most agents don't know that. They don't even know to work the game, to even inform their buyers of exactly what you're saying.
Let me tell you what it is. All right, I've been through the 2008. All right, I was one of the foreclosure kings,
Mm-hmm.
selling foreclosures, working for the banks, doing a lot of short sales and everything else. I've seen it. I think at the moment that's what's going to start to happen. Short sales, in my opinion, are going to start to happen because you've got people that have bought houses at the low interest rates, all right, and maybe they can't afford that home,
Mm-hmm.
And the government don't want to see foreclosures like they've seen them before. I don't want to see them. Nobody wants to see them.
Nobody wins.
So, I think the experienced agents are the ones, and investors are going to be out there, doing the short sales. Don't listen to all these phone calls you get on the phone. I get them all the time. People want to buy my houses. We'll give you a cash offer. Yeah, well, they want to give you a cash offer that's probably 30% under what it's valued.
Right.
Don't listen to it. Get a licensed agent. They're licensed for a reason because they've got to tell you the truth. Um, and so my honest opinion is that's sort of what I'm looking at doing, is maybe, doing that. But I want to take advantage of the high interest rates. But I've been through this cycle before, and that's what it is. It's like the stocks. It's like you're playing the stocks.
Right.
You're going down, it's going up, it's going down, it's going up. And the whole idea of the thing is, if you're a buyer and you want to buy a home, get out there and buy a home now.
What?
And you may be overpaying for the home, all right, a little bit. Get with a licensed agent, all right. But even if you've got and I think you're going to see more motivated sellers, so even pay for it now. Do you understand? Even if it's a motivated seller, you can negotiate them down.
The price will come down.
And a good agent will negotiate it down on the...
And you brought up an interesting point. You mentioned the 2008. And a lot of people lean back on 2008 because that's when they remember us having a real big credit crisis at that point. What's so different about now than then is you have people, it is so much more difficult to get a mortgage. In 2008, there's people that should never have even gotten a mortgage. I mean, we're talking about stated income.
When I bought my first investment property, all right, I just had to sign a bit of paper to say that I earn X amount of dollars. All right.
That's what I'm getting at.
I had to sign one sheet of paper to say that I earned this amount of money.
And that's the point I'm getting at. It was so easy, so much more easy to
get
a mortgage then. And we did see a crash, so to speak. Houston was still kind of insulated from a lot of that, but we still did kind of see the kind of the bottom fallout was values. But we're propped up now in a position to where folks that are waiting around for a crash, so to speak,
it's not going to happen.
It's not going to happen.
Not going to happen.
So even with interest rates being higher, you need to get in there, get the house now, so that when you refinance, there is at least some appreciation to your benefit, rather than waiting, and then you end up paying $20,000-$30,000 more for the same house. Makes no sense.
Absolutely. But I think on the whole, I think a lot of the sellers that have been out there, I think, are more motivated, to sell their home. So, we had a home in our neighborhood listed at $650,000, ended up selling it for $550,000.
Oh wow! Yeah.
In our current residence, 100,000. As a percentage, was that 12%? I don't know.
Yeah, it's.
I mean, I don't know what the percentage is. I've never looked at the percentage that much, but to me, it's just.
But it's a lot.
But it just goes to show the seller wants to get rid of it, and it was actually a flip.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was actually a flip, which I've got sort of hard feelings about flips.
Oh yeah, I think we all are.
People think flips are easy, but flips are not easy.
They're not. They're not. For those of you that don't know what a flip is, that is a acquisition of a property, at a certain price, and then the investor, whoever buys it, the whole goal is for them to not hold it, but to turn around and sell that property fairly quickly.
Well, they take
make
a financial interest in the property, don't they? That's what they do.
That's what they're trying to do.
And then they fix it up, which adds value and everything else, but they don't take any legal what's the word I'm looking for, James? They fix it up. They don't take any legal obligations if you want to, because they're fixing it up.
Right.
It's only financial.
Yeah, that's the goal. It's a short-term thing.
I really think it's something that the politicians need to sort out, because I think there's a lot of people that are being screwed, in my opinion, over the years.
It's regulated a little bit more, depending on the type of financing that the buyer gets, but it's kind of the wild, wild west if you don't check into it.
But all they do is counter it with paperwork. They've got their own paperwork. It's done by attorneys.
Yeah.
So they're limiting their liability. That's why I don't suggest that anybody sells to an attorney.
But to answer your question about rates, everything that we're seeing is that we probably will see some easing in pricing. Rates still are low. Let's just be honest, historically, but Q4.
I told you what my first
oh, yeah.
interest rate was. My first house I purchased in 1995 was $105,000 at an 18.9 interest
Man,
rate.
18.9, baby. And you loved it.
Well, it
You
was my
took it.
first home in America. I mean, I was an immigrant. I knew better. I
Right.
wasn't an agent at the time. I was, worked in the ice skating business. As a coach. And
Oh, that's right. You migrated over here from Jersey, right? New Jersey?
I've got a true American accent. You
Wait.
guys just need to learn to speak English.
That's right.
But that's basically what we've got. So, and to back up what we've got, if we go to the second slide that we got today, Everett and James, U.S. existing home sales slide again.
Mm-hmm.
Prices hit a fresh record high.
They are.
So,
And this is nationally.
this
these
is nationally.
numbers,
We're
right.
talking nationally. One of the things that people must understand, and if you go down to if you can take that down to where it's got the line chart. There you go. That's what we want to see. And basically, what it's got existing home sales in millions. Look at that, 5.1.
Wow.
All right, and then on the other axis, which is the right axis, existing one-family homes on the market and months of supply. So in some areas, the median months of supply now on the market is 2.9. Well, that makes the sellers, to back up this, I'm just backing up what I've said.
Right.
This makes the sellers obviously a little bit more motivated. So if you're buying a house, you really are better off, because for each month that goes by, it's going to cost the seller more money normally in a mortgage payment. And if you've got a good agent that can negotiate, and that's the thing, good, an agent that can negotiate and understands the process and the true level of the paperwork, then it's all there. And this is from Reuters, so
okay.
it really is. It's something that I think you can rely on to a certain degree. But I just thought that was interesting. What do you think of that, James?
No, I think it's
It's sort of what
It's
we've
what
been
we're
saying,
gonna
to be
see.
perfect. It's what we've been saying, though, isn't it? Even for a long time.
It is, and I think this is. I don't think we're at the inventory levels where we need to even it's increasing a little, but I think the demand still outweighs the supply that we have now, which drives that even more. And a lot of builders are trying to get in a position to where they are not on the hook with all these homes. So they, you hear builders saying, "Oh, we're going to close on this day, or we're going to close on that day," and they're just kind of pushing it out further and further.
I've got a general question for you.
Yeah.
At times I think a little bit outside the box. Okay?
Yep.
Got a question for you. A lot of different businesses are saying that one of the things they're going to do is to start cutting staff because of the possibility of a recession. Okay? So what do you think is going to happen if builders start to cut their staff?
It happened to what? To who?
Well, we had this problem in 2008. When we had the problems in 2008, that caused part of our problem, because what they did, they let a lot of craftsmen go, the carpenters, the plumbers.
Oh, you mean as far as in that stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if a lot of these builders start to let some of their tradesmen go again, what effect do you think that's going to have on the market? Because we haven't got the market now. How are people going to view the cost of the houses? Because it's pretty complicated, really, for somebody coming in. That's why you need to get yourself a quality agent,
Right.
who understands. I mean, personally, I think Dave Ramsey's wrong by doing a 15-year mortgage. I told you that
course.
the other day. Do a 30-year mortgage, save your $600 or your $700 and put it into stocks and invest it in something and put it into something, you know. You can always refinance down the line if you want that. But the way inflation goes at 16%, the quicker you can get into a house, the more that you're going to be able, you know, to. And with a 16-year mortgage, you could be saving $700,
Oh yeah, for sure.
a month. Why are you bothered with the interest rate? Get into something where you're in society and you've got that continued growth.
Yeah, you'll pay interest. Period. You'll be better
And
off.
you can write it off.
Yeah, you'll be better off, as you said, taking the 30 and putting that extra onto your principal if you want to continue to build the equity with it. So. I had a conversation with a couple last night and saying the same thing. They were just kind of debating on whether they want to bring money to closing. It's a VA loan, which, you know, they get zero down payment, or taking some of the incentive that they were getting from the builder, which was my idea. Take some of that incentive. We can buy the rate down a little bit and then apply it to your bottom line and just come to closing with a little bit of nothing. But they're looking at, well, the monthly payment is going to be there. I said, man, the monthly payment is going to be maybe $100 or so. But if you're bringing 20,000 versus 3,000, take that extra money, the 17
Take
grand,
that $100, put it in the
that.
S&P, and the average increase
put it
in
in
the
there.
S&P is 8%, and you do that over a time.
They'll make it. When I explain it to them that way, it's like, well, we can put that towards it. We can
Put it in an
pay
S&P
the
index.
extra. Say, yeah, you can do that. I said, if it was me, I wouldn't put that money down. You qualify for the benefit to put nothing down. Why not take it? Why not take it? But It's just a matter of having those conversations with people to explain it, you know, so they can actually understand it together. I was pulling this up. I think the information I was telling you before. The median is actually 330 for our Houston proper. On it, that's what I was looking at. But we're still down year over year, like 12% as far as how many homes have sold over, you know, year over year. Now days on the market are still, you know, fairly low, about 13 to 14 days.
In Houston, it's pretty high.
Yeah, in Houston, but that's up 7 to 8%, man. And as far as the value goes.
Now you live slightly out of town, don't you?
Yes.
Iowa
Colony.
Colony. Where did you used to live before that?
Clear Lake, which is Houston. Still Clear Lake area, but it's part of.
We're looking at it like sort of Houston, don't we? It's like in Houston, but
the address is actually Houston.
Do you prefer living in Iowa Colony?
I prefer living out there. For one, I love living in my area because I'm right off the freeway. I'm close. Off the
it's a newer freeway. It's got a tollway.
New freeway.
45 got a new tollway now. I haven't been that way.
You know what? I don't know. I don't get on 45 much. But I know, you know, with the 288 corridor, the South Freeway, I think is the best freeway in the city, quite frankly, because it hits all of them. So, and then when they tie 99 into it, it's going to be that much better. But
99 is going to be tied into what?
288.
Really?
Yeah, down south by 1462. Down there by the Oak Creek Estates, those homes you were seeing down there for rent, they're going to be down that area. But I like it, man. I like it because, you know, we're far enough away. The only drawback is the grocery store is not really close. So, you run out of toilet paper.
Good school district?
Good school district. Great school districts.
Well, you run out of toilet paper. You can always use, newspaper.
Yes. My kids are grown out of school.
But we're not going to go there.
So it doesn't really matter too much. But we did the research when we moved from Clear Lake, because Clear Lake has good schools as well. But yeah, my in-laws moved over, you know, not too far from us. So, shoot, it's a beautiful thing.
Well, that's good. That's good.
Oh my goodness, Tesla! My
Tesla doing a good job today?
We're over 800, man. It's. I'm sorry, I digress. Tesla ain't playing. You hear me? They're up almost 10% today. Almost 10% up, Stephen.
They're doing me proud.
They are doing you proud.
So, anything else we're going to bring up? Or is that it for this week?
Really, that's it, man. We really just want to kind of make sure that we can just stay topical in this. I think we got enough information to give to the
one
people.
of the one of the things that I feel concerned about with some of the things that you hear out there is there's so much disinformation,
Yes.
which I think new home buyers really need to get the truth on, which is go ahead, get qualified, go out there, buy yourself a house, get yourself a good agent.
Don't wait.
You know.
Wait.
And I'm not saying that as a real estate agent. I read a comment the other day on one of our and it said asking a real estate agent to buy a house is like, I don't know, something or other, and I thought it was actually a funny comment, you know. But I mean, we're talking about somebody's longevity,
Right.
you know, on having some value, you know. So just get out there, buy yourself a house. The interest rate is going to go up and down. When it's low, what do? You go there and refinance your home. All right, you can even take cash out of your home to start a business if you want to. So I had a call the other day, and somebody turned around to me and said he works at a well-known auto car dealership, and he's worked out there for 12 years, 15 years, real nice Hispanic guy. And he said, I've got a little bit of cash, and I don't know whether to buy a house or I don't know to start a business. And I said to him, he said, well, what are you? Well, I said to him, what are you looking for? And I said, because a business is an investment. You can buy a house. I said, buying a business, starting a business, 20% of businesses after 5 years are still in business.
Right.
But 80% are out of business.
Right.
I said, if you go out there and buy a house, I said, what I would suggest you is go out there, buy yourself a house, and then take the equity out of the house after so long, and then start your business, because then you've still got your house.
Yep. Do that first, man. And living in Texas doesn't play with your homestead. They don't let creditors put anything on your house. They don't. It's protected in many ways. So do that first. And you mentioned interest rates go up and down. You know what doesn't go up and down? Rent. Rent goes up. Period. No landlord usually calls you and say, "Hey, guess what? I'm gonna lower your rent." That does not happen. That does not happen. So buy a house, man. Buy it. Well, cool.
Anyway, so that is cool, and we'll be back Neg will be here next week at 12 o'clock. I won't be here, but hopefully James will be here.
We'll figure something out.
Yep. All right, guys. I will see you, and take care. Be good. If you can't be good, be wicked. Go out there and see if you can go find yourself an agent and inquire about the housing market.
Absolutely.
And most of all, get qualified first. Give James a call. He can be found at leegrouploans.com. If you need, you can find him on Instagram at Lee Group Loans and Facebook.
Yes, absolutely.
So, go find James, get qualified for a house. He'll be able to help out. And then also, maybe you can hook up with us as well, and we'll be able to help you through that. Okay, thanks a bunch. And anywhere in Texas, if you need a referral of an agent anywhere in Texas, we can take care of that for you as well. All right, buddies. You take care.
Take
Bye-bye.
care.